IGCSE Computer Science, Syllabus Statement 1.2.3d, show understanding of the concepts of Internet Protocol Address, Uniform Resource Locator, and cookies. So, in the statement, MAC address was also listed. However, I've already covered all of that in that hexadecimal video that I talked about, which also has HTML. I think I said that in 1.2.3b, I believe. So I'll have a link to that as I did with that other video, and yeah, you can check it out if you want to. And in fact, you probably should check it out if you haven't, because we're going to be talking a little bit about MAC address here, so like the difference between IP and MAC. So let's get started. Internet Protocol. So an IP address is a 32-bit number which is given to each device on the internet. So it's usually written in the form nnn.nnn.n.nn, although they can have different forms. Because like if you look at your IP address of your computer, it should have this form. Well, at least mine does, but they can differ. A device is assigned an IP address by an ISP when it connects to the internet, and it's unique for only that internet session. So what an ISP is a company which provides a user with access to the internet, basically, and then charges them a monthly fee. What they do is they create a user account, which contains a username and password, usually, which, of course, like Wi-Fi password, that is, so people can get access. Yeah. A MAC address is a unique number which identifies a device on the internet, but an IP address gives the location of the device connected to the internet. So that's the main well, actually, yeah, that is the difference between a MAC and an IP address. Another way of thinking about it is just imagine the house or apartment that you live in. So the address of your house would be the IP address, and each person living in your house would be a MAC address. Now, if you are living with a family and you decide to move to another house, that IP address will change. However, the members of your family will go with you, hopefully, and so therefore their MAC addresses don't change. So it works kind of like that. So then we get Uniform Resource Locator. So a URL is an address to a resource on the internet. So users can type this in or click on a link, like Google, to go to a web page. So, for example, this is a URL. This is, well, I'm not going to tell you what video this is from YouTube. You're just going to have to find that out yourself. The web server will break up a URL into 3 parts. So there's the protocol, so like HTTP, HTTPS, the web server name, and the file name. So the web browser will translate the web server name into an IP address. And also, when you type in a URL, hit enter, the HTML code which exists in the location is returned, and then it's displayed as a page on your device's screen. That's pretty much what happens. Okay, so cookies. A cookie is a packet of data sent by a web server to a web browser, and they're generated every time a user visits a website. Every time a user visits a website, cookies will collect some information about the user. So you might see a message if you access a site saying cookies will be used, or like this site will like require use of cookies or whatever. So that's pretty much what cookies do. So they can track users, creepy, and save their preferences. So like if you ever go to Amazon, for example, and you view an item, the next day if you go back to Amazon, the home page, it may have said something like customers who have viewed this item also viewed something like whatever lists. So that's pretty much how cookies work. But keep in mind that cookies aren't programs. They're basically data, so they can't perform any functions. They only detect web pages visited by a user on websites and store preferences. So just keep that in mind. So cookies aren't a virus or anything. Like it's not that dangerous. It's not dangerous whatsoever. Where is it? Where is it? The information which cookies gather forms an anonymous user profile. So they don't gather personal information. So like they don't gather passwords or credit card numbers. But they are subject to privacy and security concerns. So you better watch yourself. So that's pretty much it for the entire Internet Principles of Operations topic. And yeah, that's it.